to the TBWS show. I'm your guest host, Ryan Hill.
And I'm Gary the Hawk Hawkinson.
Hey, and before you hit the back button, because Brian and Frank aren't here, let's talk about something that nobody's talking about. While the industry has been focusing on HVCC and currently LO compensation, the Fed has quietly been inching closer to finalizing QRM. You may be saying, what is QRM? Well, it's
Qualified residential mortgage.
Well, what he said. If HVCC and LO comp were the proverbial 1-2 punch, QRM has the making of a pretty kick-ass KO punch.
QRM is basically this. It'll require mortgage lenders to keep some skin in the game until the mortgage they've originated pays off.
Yep.
So now let's play this out.
Okay.
You write a mortgage for $200,000 and the bill states that you have to keep $10,000 in reserve by the lender that wrote it.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a lot of money, but when you multiply that by the number of loans a lender does throughout the year, well, it gets downright absurd to think that anybody but the big four can pull this off. Now, this is a big deal not just for LOs, but also title, escrow, appraisers, and real estate agents.
Yep.
Why? It's just one step closer to the big four taking over the entire process. And trust me, this is not something you want to see played out. Now, on a side note, some great news here. Looks like FHA could be included in this guideline as well.
Geez, seriously, what are big banks saying? Good question. While the intent of the rule is to help homeowners, it's very apparent that the motive is much more sinister. Many have called it a backdoor bank bailout, and even more have said it's an attempt to funnel all the business into the big four. With the QRM rule change, Wells Fargo has come out and shockingly supported this rule and said it should be for loans that are 70% loan to value and higher. So basically, if you don't have 30% down on a home, well, QRM kicks in and it kicks in hard. 70%, guys, seriously?
Really?
70% loan to value. Really, that's the entire market right now. So basically, that's going to include every damn loan. So the Fed's implementing QRM, right?
Right.
So to be fair, we got to look at their track record. And while we don't have enough time to point out all their mishaps, let's take a look at their latest one.
Okay, now the Fed made changes to the Truth in Lending disclosure back in September.
Okay.
Their changes were so unclear that literally all investors stopped purchasing loans that pertain to their change.
Yeah.
Let me read you a statement from a president of a major lender, and he wants to remain nameless. All investors have published policies. They will not purchase any loan with a temporary buy-down due to the fear of a fatal error being committed.
Wow.
This is happening right now because of a lack of clarity with the new Fed rule. So again, Fed, due to your lack of understanding of the mortgage biz, you've once again created a nice little mess for all of us to try and clean up.
Well, so basically, if you're a loan officer or a real estate agent and you have a loan that has a temporary buy down right now,
right,
no investors are going to purchase that.
And the deal's dead. You're done. They're not closing.
Hey, good job, Fed. I mean, you guys are really doing an awesome job up there. Just a bang up job. I really can't wait for them to implement LO compensation and QRM. I mean, if it goes as well as everything else,
right,
we should probably be out of the recession by 2020.
If you guys are looking for something fun and sexy to do with your sweetie on Valentine's Day today, take her to Tacoma, Washington. Just voted by Yelp the most romantic city in the nation.
I find that really hard to believe because that's in my backyard and it's not that romantic. But speaking of Tacoma, Washington, they just got voted by CNN Money as the #1 city to enjoy appreciations by 2012 to the tune of 11.8% appreciation by 2012. Crazy.
Coming in at #2, Palm Bay, Florida. Median home price of $141,000 and a forecasted gain of 9.4% in values.
Now, rounding out the top 3 is the Dirty South and Memphis. They're expected to get 7.5% appreciation by 2012. That's pretty good news.
That's amazing. Coming into the middle of the pack, Seattle, Washington, right in our backyard. Median home price $375,000 and 3.7% gain in value.
Now, speaking of Seattle, Washington, Video Marketing Summit's going to be there March 2nd. Frank and Brian are going to be there. We're going to be there. There's a ton of people signed up to be there. If you're in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, surrounding neighborhood, take the trip up to Seattle. Let's have some fun. Okay, back to the story. Rounding up the top 10. Again, guys, New Haven, Connecticut. Home of the Yukon Huskies. They can expect a 2.5% appreciation by 2012. Now, we kind of feel that these numbers are a little lofty and we might see one of these for the remainder of the next 2 years, but who knows?
Hey, but if you're looking for something really exciting to send out to your referral partners, here's some good news. Send the story out to them.
Hey guys, thanks for letting us host the Daily again. We really appreciate it. Frank and Brian are one of the most romantic cities that I know, Detroit City.
Hey, another thing we learned this week, that there are a lot of committed loan officers still in this industry.
Yeah.
Don't get caught sleeping at the switch, they'll run right over you.
Yeah, that's for sure. And thanks to MGIC and Sue Woodard, man, she's pretty stinking hot, man. We learned that at the MGIC conference this week.
Yeah.
By the way, think big,
work small.
And we'll see you at the summit.